Alright, we should be live, at least on the normal stream. I don't know why YouTube is taking forever to pick up. There we go. And then the vertical as well. Alright, let me get a second for that to officially start, and we should be good to go. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. How are y'all doing? Let me check something real quick while we just hang out for a bit. Man, I have too many things on my screen right now. Let's see. I need to see what the vertical looks like on the phone's end, because I know the chat at the bottom of the vertical, if you guys are watching on vertical, it doesn't look good. Oh, why am I on this screen? Whoopsies, I'm supposed to be on this one. But yeah, the chat down there, I need to fix that. So let me go to my own channel and see what it looks like on the phone. But we got Craig Lilly in the house first, as always. Not always, but most of the time. What's up, Craig? How you doing? Catsy, I'm probably guessing. You might want to rethink the title. Yeah, so the title of the stream, and I mean, I just threw together whatever title as quickly as I can. It originally read, Building the $500 White Power Train P60 PC. But you see how I put a pause there, because the white and powertrain are two separate thoughts, two separate entities. It's not a whole thing. It's not a white powertrain, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I reworded it. We don't put white next to power. Okay, let's see. So how does this look? In live chat? I don't even need a live chat thing, it seems. A live chat section. Okay, I will fix that for next stream, because that's too much to do now. But yeah, when you have the live chat open, it resizes the whole stream anyways. So there's no point in having a section down there. Okay. Actually, we might be able to fix that now. Can I fix this right now? I might be able to, while we just chill. Let me get caught up with the chat first before I do that. Rflet says, okay, the only tech drama I am allowed to report this week is Black Myth Wukong had 2.3 million concurrent players on Steam launch. Is that drama? That's like tech news. Rflet, do we want to rename this segment to tech news? Because I'm feeling like that's more of just tech news. Unless you talk about... So the reason why Black Myth Wukong, anyone else out there playing that, by the way, but the reason it's doing really well is because it's like one of the first AAA titles to come from like a Chinese like game studio, and people in China are, you know, showing it a lot of support and stuff like that. I haven't played the game yet. I've watched like parts of reviews. It doesn't look like a bad game, but I think people are attributing its success right now due to a lot of Chinese gamers basically buying it and then giving it good reviews, and it being cheaper in China and stuff like that. I don't know enough to say if all that is true or not, you know, to discredit the game. I mean, it's like an action, it's like a fast action, what's it called? The word's slipping my mind. But, you know, you're talking about like Devil May Cry, God of War, Ninja Gaiden type of video game. But yeah, it does have a free benchmark, which I will probably add to my benchmarking suite, which, yes, thank you. I don't have to pay for it, but yeah. VML 36L515. If I had to buy a sub $1,500 pre-built gaming PC, what brand would I recommend? I would have to take a look. There's probably like 2 or 3 brands I usually go to, but also like just straight up on Newegg, $1,500 should get you close to like a 4070 super like current gen, you know, Ryzen 5 i5 processor with like 1 to 2 terabytes of storage and 32 gigs of RAM. That's $1,500 should get you close to that. I believe like ABS systems from Newegg can get you that. What's up, Giant Robots? What's up, James Ray? What up, what up, what up? I can't wait to see the Power Train case in action, says Daniel. Yeah, me too. I'm kind of excited to build in this, but just knowing the case, because I've unboxed it for the B-roll. I shot the B-roll and stuff. I've unboxed it, and I've looked more into it, and man, there's not a lot of space to build. When you do not have a power supply basement and a back chamber, you are limited in space, and you're going to see all the cable management. So it's going to be fun to build. Yeah. Jason says, I think they said like 80% plus of the sales so far are all China, so it's big there. That's crazy. If you're talking about 2.3 million players and 80%, that's like 16 to 17 million players. What am I saying? No. 1.6 to 1.7 million of the players. Yeah, sorry, I multiplied. I should have divided. Of it being Chinese players, which I don't know. It looks like I like those types of games, you know, like fast-paced, like smooth, fluid combat type games. So I don't know. We'll see what the demo looks like. I don't know if the demo is just a benchmark or if you can actually play any of it. But also, Final Fantasy, what is it, 16? They also dropped a demo, like a playable demo, like with quite a bit that you can play as well, and that's gonna be releasing on the PC soon. So I could add that to the benchmarking suite too. So yay, more games that can be benchmarked that are modern titles that I don't have to spend money on if I don't necessarily want to play them like I have had to in the past. So yeah. Guy, is this live or not? PSJC Gamer, I'm pulling your chat thingy up right here. This is live. This is indeed live. It's just that I have two separate streams going, one normal, one vertical. You are on the vertical stream, so it's hard to go back and forth between the chat. If you want, I would say the most full experience, come over to the full stream, but if you want to stick to the shorts, stick there as well, but just note that I might not see all the chat. Igor says, I got my Samsung Buds 3 Pro in the mail today and I'm mad they took away the live actives translate off the S24 series and only offer it to the new fold phones. Taking away... Yeah, that sucks. That reminds me of, like, what company was it that was like, you want your seat warmers to work, you gotta pay a subscription to? Where it's like, it's already a built-in feature or, like, something that the hardware can handle. Why is it something that they could just easily take away and stuff because they want you to buy the newest thing or pay a subscription and all that stuff? But dang, Igor, that sucks. Sorry to hear about that. If you want drama, look up the weird stuff the Wukong developers have posted on social media in the last 10 years. Very anti-woman. I did not see or hear anything about that. But it would not surprise me. I mean, you talk about anti-woman, even like a bunch of the American game studios have done that. Riot got in trouble for that. Not necessarily anti-women, but like toxic towards women type of workplaces, right? So Blizzard as well too. As I'm wearing this World of Warcraft shirt. Oh, we got Thunder Fury right there. But yeah. I don't know. It might just be like one of those toxic tech bro culture things that you know, I mean, some of these game studios started in either the early 2000s, 90s, like mid to early 90s. So you know, it was a different time back then. As society evolves and changes, other stuff will too. But I don't want to spend too much time on that. Let's see. Oh, the Wukong one is? Wait. What did you say? But you said 10 years. Oh, I think I understood that wrong. The developers have posted, so the studios knew, but these developers have worked elsewhere. Or weren't developers at the time, but yeah, okay, gotcha. I would have to look more into that. Oof, that's not a good look then. That is very weird. Hey, what's up, PSJC Gamer? I see that you've come over to the other with landscape stream. Still hasn't tried Dark Age of Camelot. I have not tried Dark Age of Camelot. I have been going through the MMORPG subreddit recently though, and just kind of looking at like what people's thoughts are in general. And the game that people are holding in the highest like hopes right now is Ashes of Recreation, and kind of Thrones and Liberty. Thrones and Liberty recently had like the beta. It was like a beta test, but it was like limited time. But I don't know, those any MMO that comes out in this day and age, for me, it's like if I was a betting person, I would bet it is going to flop within like 6 to 12 months, kind of like how New World did. And when I say flop, it doesn't mean that there won't be any players and the studio shuts down necessarily, but like just the player count is just gonna be, I don't know, sub 100,000 concurrent for the most part. You know, it's really hard to make a game, especially at development costs and all the time and stuff like that. And to try to compete with like the Titans, which are essentially WoW, what is it? WoW, Final Fantasy 14, and like Guild Wars 2. Is there any other bigger MMO than that? So, yeah. Sad news for MMOs, but I don't know. If Ashes of Creation turns out being good, I'll for sure play it. They worked at Tencent? Okay, gotcha. What's up, XYZ? Have I heard of the Roblox drama? No, I do not. I do not follow Roblox, unfortunately, Logan. Hope you're doing well, by the way. As, you know, you're going through your, what's it called? Your situation. I don't want to get too much into details and spare all your business, but hope you're adjusting well. And glad to see you still are using your computer. I think you're on your computer or phone maybe, but yeah, hope that's all going well for you. I'm forgetting. Chandra, get out of here. Every time we talk MMOs, if Chandra's in here, he talks about Wizard 101. What up, Chandra? How you doing? Do I have an OnlyFans? I do not have an OnlyFans. Ask somebody in the vertical chat. But if I did have one, what would you want to see on there? Yo, what if Wizards 101, like, they remade that with better graphics and like gameplay, but still kept the Wizards 101 name, and it was like a full-fledged MMO similar to that of, you know, like ESO or WoW or any of the popular MMOs right now. And then Chandra can come back and throw it in my face and say, see, Wizards 101 is legit. Bare PCBs and feet. I mean, I've already been showing feet for free. Bare PCBs is crazy. Casey Wallace says, I'm 31 and I've been playing Dark Age of Camelot since I was 9 years old. Bro, did Dark Age of Camelot have a subscription fee? It sounds like one of the games that would have one. I feel like back then, it was so easy for so many MMOs to throw subscriptions onto them, because that was the standard. But nowadays, gamers have so many options of free games that a lot of ones, except for the one, you know, Guild Wars is free. You have to buy it, but there's no subscription. But like Final Fantasy and World of Warcraft and stuff like that, they're successful enough where they can keep that model because people either like the IP or have just been playing the game for so dang long that, you know, they can't break away from it. But yeah, a lot of other new MMOs coming out are trying to do like the whole microtransaction thing, like aesthetics only, supposedly not pay to win, but we'll see how that works out for like Throne and Liberty. But yeah. It was $15 a month. How were you paying $15? Was this like on your dad's account or a mom's account or a parent's or sibling's account or something? At 9 years old, bro, even when I was like 15, 16 playing WoW in high school, I was struggling to pay that subscription. My parents didn't give me any allowance or anything like that. So, yeah, making money when you can't get a legit job, pretty hard. Pirate 101 is also goated. I've never even heard of Pirate 101. But maybe I need to look up these things now. Okay. Oh, we're 15 minutes in. Okay. I don't know how long this build's going to take. Melissa's making pork belly right now, and I am starving, so we cannot go super overtime. So we got to start building this thing. Hope everyone is doing okay, though. But let me show you what we got on the dock for today. Oh, and then people have mentioned that. Remember how I was saying I'm doing, like, multiple white PC builds in the last stream or two? Well, there's one of them that I'm doing, but this is the other white PC build, and the case isn't in the shot because it's too big. But today we are putting together the system finally. Now, as you may have noticed, the graphics card is still black because I have not got a chance to paint it yet. I got the paint. See, like, it's not that I didn't want to paint it. I bought the paint. I'm ready to go, kind of. But every time I've had a chance to paint, the weather has just kind of been crappy. Like, we did have random rain come through this past weekend, as well as, like, it's been kind of windy, and I'm going to spray paint outside and let it dry outside. So, ideal conditions for that is, like, sun, as well as no wind, because when you have wind, like, you could dust, dirt, pollen, wherever the heck can blow on the graphics card while it's trying to dry and mess it up. So, I need to figure out, because I need to paint this thing. So what I'm going to do is we're going to build the PC today with the graphics card just black to see how it fits and everything. And I'll just pull it out, spray paint it, because it's the only thing that needs to be spray painted. But yeah. But specs are in the description for both of the streams. And yeah, I think we can just get right to it. Let me see the chat. ARGB controller. Yes, I do have one of those. Yes, I did not forget. Give me 1 second. I don't want to put my crutch on. Where is that thing? I just did the B-roll for this. Where did I put that? I got one of those $6 or $7 ARGB controller. Oh my god. That's what happens when you are working on multiple projects at a time. And you have all the crap splayed all over the place. I'll show you the ARGB controller that I got though. Let me hide the... Okay. Oh, this is gonna be hard to do because I'm using the same browser window that we normally use. Okay, so where is it? Oops. Come on. Why is it doing this? Okay, so RGB controller. Not this one. I didn't get one with the remote. ARGB controller. But yeah, it basically hooks up to SATA, and it's like $5 or $6 bucks. It wasn't this one. It looks like this one without the remote. So it's basically this right here. You plug it in. It has RGB headers. This one doesn't have ARGB headers, it looks like. Ah, here we go. Oh, here's the Thermalright one. I didn't buy it from Thermalright, but I bought a very similar looking one for like around the same $6 bucks or so. But yeah, it is here somewhere. Hopefully I can find it before the end of the build so that when we turn it on, we could actually have RGB. But yeah, this basically, as you can see in the picture, there is a 3-pin header and then SATA, and then the controller's in here. So you do have limited light effects, but most of these have like the rainbow puke, all the primary and secondary colors, and then some other random flashy stuff in it. So yeah. Okay, so we go back to this now. The cable management in that case is hard. Yeah, I know. Logan says, by the way, when did you record that scamming video? When did I record it? I recorded it before, I recorded it after the video with you. It's just the one with yours, Logan. There's so much footage to it because of when I was troubleshooting. But I was going to save that for a little bit. I don't know, hopefully I can get it without in the next month. But the scamming video was like 2 months ago. It was when my foot was still good. So that's my reference as to when I did it. Yeah, but a lot of times I record stuff and then I don't actually get the videos out for a while. Okay, so let's get to this build. I will try my best to keep up with chat, but it's kind of hard to see from over here. Yeah, so again, parts list is in the description. We will start with the CPU. So Ryzen 5 5600. I don't have the prices all listed there, but if you guys remember the stream, this thing was like 80 bucks. It might have been a little bit cheaper than 80 because we used a coupon. when we shopped for it on stream that one time. But yeah, the total of this comes out to just shy of 500 bucks. It's like 492 is what I calculated on my spreadsheet before tax. So, okay, let's get this going. This should be, up until we put this into the case, this should be a very simple build. Like, there's not a ton of parts to it. It's got a tower cooler, so you don't have the AIO mess of cables and stuff like that. Extra cables, rather. Let's put the RAM in. What mobile is that? So let me try to show it. Let's see if it catches on. Oh, yeah. So this is a Machinist, which I'll show the box again. This is an AliExpress special right here. Like, half of this build came from AliExpress. The motherboard, CPU, RAM, and SSD came from AliExpress. But here was the box for it, right? So it said Machinist on it, which is the brand. But it's like a generic box. It doesn't have the chipset, the model name of the motherboard. There's no actually specific details about the motherboard. This is just like, they throw any kind of motherboard in here to sell. But, so yeah, it is. Does it even say Machinist on the motherboard itself? It doesn't. That's so funny. Like, if we look at it, it does say B450AM4A. But, like, normally it would say, like, Machinist or, like, you know, where it says Gigabyte MSI or something. The board manufacturer and model here, usually. But, yeah, this thing is just completely blank. But as you can see, very bare bones board. Oh yeah, gotta grab a CMOS battery for this. But, no ARGB header. One M.2 slot, which is pretty common in B450 boards, actually. But, yeah, let's see. It looks nice, though. It does look nice. It's got that black and white going for it, which, okay, what are you guys' thoughts on this? What if, when we get the build together, the graphics card actually looks okay as black? Should I still paint it, or should I just leave it black? Because I'm partially afraid of trying to paint this graphics card and messing up. And, yeah, messing it up. I mean, you can use, like, paint thinner and cleaners and stuff like that, but it is a pain to get paint off of all the little nooks and crannies and crevices that once it gets into. Because this isn't like a flat, you know, a graphics card isn't a completely flat shape. It's got curves. I'm going to be painting the fans. There's like little, you know, texture on it. There's bumps and stuff right here. Like, I can understand maybe on the back plate trying to use paint remover, paint thinner to like remove applied paint would be easier. But when you get like these intricate shapes that you're painting, once you decide to paint, it's kind of like, it's hard to go back. And then we did talk about plasti dipping in the past, but every time I've seen plasti dipping done, it's like the texture doesn't look good because it's essentially like a peelable, removable type of paint. It sprays on thicker, stuff like that. So that's why I didn't want to go plasti dip. So it's either you go the whole, you know, normal paint, or you don't at all. I don't know. Maybe I'm psyching myself out. Let's get the cooler on. Black and white builds are more better because you can never go wrong. Painting, throwing the fan balance off. Honestly, the fan balance thing, I don't think it'll be a big issue, especially if you get a pretty even coat. Like, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it'll make a big deal. Like, but you're right, that is one of the risks. I think it's just a low risk of anything, like, bad happening in terms of, like, throwing the fan balance off to the point where it's going to degrade the fan bearings over time because of, you know, it being unbalanced, or creating unwanted noise or something like that. But now is not the time to build a PC. You should play Black Myth Wukong. We got someone with special characters name. Mark, I like that. Wait. Mark says, I like the GPU is black in a white build. It really contrasts the build. Completely all whites are a little overrated now. Kind of like what I have sitting behind me. This is an all white build right here. Pretty much everything's white. The motherboard has some black to it, but okay. So my thoughts is that if we can come to an agreement that it looks, cause okay, here's another thing too. Let me come back over here. Let me scooch on over here. Look at this thing. I mean, I bought a used power supply. Obviously, with the $500 build, given the power supply prices right now, getting a white power supply is going to be pretty much impossible. And it's usually not an issue for most cases because you have a power supply basement. But because we have this case, which has zero power supply basement, literally the power supply sits in the front like this. It sits right behind the front here. This is going to be showing. So, I mean, I could easily get like some white vinyl to cover this. But the cables are also going to be sticking out and they're black. And yeah, so my thoughts were, depending on how this looks, I'm going to have to determine aesthetically what changes has to happen to make it look, you know, decent. Okay, I got to bring my mouse over here because I cannot see the chat. It is going too fast. Yeah, budget power supply market is no bueno. Meanwhile, high-end PSUs are cheap for what they're... Yeah, that is kind of... Well, it's going fast for me because I have both shorts and normal chat, so my window can only be so big. But, if you want a A-tier power supply that's like 750, 850 watts right now, you can get that for around 90 or 100 bucks from what I'm seeing. Which is pretty dang good. Especially, you know, when you have a budget of $1,000, $1,500, whatever, a $90 power supply is easily fit in that. And to be able to get like a top tier power supply, that's like awesome. But going on the budget side, there, like, what is the most, if you want at least like 550 to 600 watts, maybe 650, what's the most popular C tier power supply right now, or B tier one? For a while, it was like the Thermalright, was it the BM2 or the GX2, or both. But I think those are going for like 60 bucks right now. There's that Seagull one, which is, I don't know where it actually falls quality-wise, but I'm thinking it's around C or B tier. It's just because the model name is slightly different. Hey, what's up, Tara? Hello, new to the channel. What up, what up, what up? Bro, doesn't it sound like an absolute gamble to get a used power supply? No. What do you think people are doing with these power supplies? It's not like they could have been pushing it on a system that's pulling basically 100% load the entire time. But I have had a lot of success buying used power supplies, so I'm not worried about that at all. Okay, I gotta remove this. There's gonna be a point where I might have to not look at chat so often because I gotta actually focus and look at the build. I can't read chat and take screws out at the same time, unfortunately. MSI Mag PSUs. Oh yeah, but which model and how much are they going for? I think I saw that one. Was it the 550 watt for 50 bucks? Or is it like 60? I don't believe there's anything. We have not seen like $40 like at least C tier power supplies for a while, it feels. Feels like the new low if you want anything that's not really questionable. The minimum you have to spend is 50 bucks. $2 super chat from Alexander. Amazon has a sale on a 1000 watt ROG PSU for $149. Okay, yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty regular, except I don't know too much about ROG power supplies to begin with. I don't think that's something that I would have normally looked at much. Okay, we need the AM4, AM5. Ooh. Oh gosh, not this again. Okay. I actually have to... Every time these brackets... I have to refer to the manual so that I don't put them in wrong. I believe in one of the streams I did put it in wrong. Where did that box go? Wait. Did this not come with the manual? I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. I don't think I threw the manual out. If I did, then whoopsies. Okay, maybe I just have to put it up to the piece and see. So AM4. Yeah, don't forget the battery for the motherboard. I'm gonna have to pull. I have a thing of extra batteries. I bought like an Amazon pack, but that's in a toolbox somewhere. Okay, let me see what the distance on these are. It has to be that, right? Okay, so it's facing outwards. It better be facing outwards. Okay, let me get this in here. As I twist these screws, I try to turn to the screen and look. $551 on Amazon is 57, yeah, and then 650 is 70 bucks. Yeah, it's not a bad price, but if you're depending on your budget, right? I feel like at that price for like a $600-700 build, it's pretty easy. Once you start creeping down to like $400-500 territory, it starts being a bigger chunk of your budget. So, I forget what this Supernova GT is. I believe it's a B tier. And that's why I'm okay with it being used. Because if it's a high quality power supply, it should last a long time. Okay. Let me check the distance. See, so with the brackets, right? They could have been installed either this way or flipped around, but I'm pretty sure it's this. Due to the spacing, and... Yep, we're good. Perfect. Okay. They even... Dude, Thermalright... You know some of these companies selling these cheap coolers? Because this Thermalright one was 19 bucks. But some of these companies selling these... They give you like a little tinfoil bag, or like a little foil bag. Dude... Thermalright out here selling $19, good quality, freaking, you know, white, what's it called? Not painted. What's that process where, powder coated. This feels powder coated, does not feel painted. But yeah, they're selling these white coolers with a tube of thermal paste that you can recap off, not just one-time use type of thing. Though I don't know how much is in here. Alright, let's put our quote-unquote pea-size drop on. How's that looking? It's looking off-center if you ask me, so let's put a little bit more on this side. This is not an exact science. That should be good enough. Feel free to go to Reddit and complain, though. Or ask for a million different people's opinions, because I feel like thermal paste is something that a lot of people don't agree on. Applications methods. This is symmetrical, yeah. So we're going like this. We're gonna do the nice peel. Used high power supplies are the best deal for a B+ rated PSU. You can find 800 watt units for 35 to 40 bucks on eBay. Are you talking about the ones that are pulled from those Those different workstations, Casey. That's the... Wait, Casey, were you the one with that website with the guide on power supply buying in the used market? Or is that somebody else? We haven't talked about that website yet, where someone told me about it, where they wrote up a guide of like what to buy depending on what your budget is. I feel like that must have been you. And I think... what's up, Reluctant Hero? Yes, okay, gotcha. See, my memory's not that bad. It's pretty bad most of the time, but what triggered me to think that is because you bringing up specifically those high wattage power supplies for that price range. Is that still the case? I haven't looked on eBay for those in a while, actually. Okay, so next we got... Man, I need to find that RGB controller. Unless this thing defaults to white RGB, then you technically don't have to have the RGB controller if you like that color. So now we're putting the fan on. Oh, I need to put the SSD on too. Whoops. Getting too distracted. Prada Porsche, can you share please? What can I share? What? If you're asking me to share this PC build, I cannot. But if you're talking to somebody else and not me, then go on. Don't mind what I just said. Who's that with the tiny name? I can't even read. What? Oh no, their name is just 2 dashes. I absolutely love watching PC builds. It's amazing bringing something to life like this. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I feel like I'm so used to doing PC builds that I think actually doing them on stream makes them way more fun than the normal just me building by my lonesome self in silence. Here's a question for you guys before I put this fan on. So the way these fans work is they have these spring clips that you just use to hook onto the metal part of the heatsink, right? Or the big tower fin section. So the way that you can install this, you can install it at multiple heights. Like you can install it sitting up here if you wanted. You can install it slid like a little bit down more. How do you guys usually do it? Because one popular way I think people do is they try to line up, like if you look side by side, they try to line up the top of the fan to the top of the heatsink. But when you do that, I'll try to show you on the side. When you do that, you do have a portion of the fan that's just not pushing through the fins, if that makes sense, right? So what I always try to do is I try to center the fan on the stack. So it may, the fan might stick up a little bit. You can see how the top edge here doesn't line up with here. But for quote-unquote maximum airflow in the most surface area of, you know, the air being pushed through, going through the fins, I try to center it as best as possible. But I'm curious what you guys prefer. A non-white a non-white look be 180 used, so if I sold it, make profit. But it is good for VRM cooling. That's a good point. Which actually, that's a really good point. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, whoops! I put the bracket on too far. Yeah, because if we look at this motherboard, look at them VRMs. No heatsink whatsoever. Though, I'm not going to be doing any crazy overclock or anything like that. Let's actually set it as low as possible. Normally, that's something, if you buy like actual decent motherboards, you don't have to worry as much about. Because also the VRMs, heatsinks, if they're thick enough and sticking up high enough, they can go into the airflow path of the fan that is still placed a little bit higher. But yeah, I think that's a good enough argument to place this as low as possible so that it could cool the VRMs and it aesthetically looks better, because I do think it does look the best. See, so here's how it lines up now. So I can only put it as far down as possible due to, you see that screw, or yeah, the way that we bolted down to the bracket. So the fan interferes with that. I can't push it down any lower, but you do get a little bit of fan airflow pushing underneath here between the heat pipes. So I think it ends up working out. AIO better or no? In most cases, AIOs aren't necessary. Better is... I feel like that's a subjective word. In terms of being able to get more cooling performance, this is only a $20 cooler, so there are plenty of AIOs out there that you can get that will cost more. I don't think there are any $20 AIOs that will perform better than this. So relative to the price, no, AIO won't work better. But even if you spent, let's say, on a... What's the cheapest 240 AIO you can think of? Like, probably 50 bucks? So 2.5 times the cost of this. Do you get 2.5 times the cooling performance? I wouldn't say so. It's kind of hard to calculate what 2.5 times performance means, though, with temperature. It just, you can't really do the math like that, especially with ambient bringing up the temperature floor and stuff like that. Okay, so I think we just got to get the SSD in now. Luvia Jr. says, lining up the top of the tower and the fan so it can blow some air close to the mobile if it gets lower. Yeah, exactly. That's what the other person said about the VRMs. Okay, we got our XrayDisk, whatever the heck brand this is, SSD. I am looking forward to testing the speeds on this thing, but it was noticeably cheaper than... SSD prices are kind of sucky right now. They're like, I'm not going to say double, but they're close to double what they were a year ago. 1 terabyte, we used to be able to get 1 terabyte NVMe's for like 35 bucks. Pretty regularly. And now they're closer to like 65 bucks. So almost double in price. 28 bucks on AliExpress for a no-name brand for a 240. Okay, so aside from the AliExpress thing, of course Casey got to come in with the AliExpress. Yeah, so 28 bucks AliExpress. I think that would give, it potentially could give the Thermalright a run for its money, if it ends up working out. But at the same time, AIOs are just more wires and cables to deal with, which could be a pain sometimes. What up, Mike Brazone? Yes, it is the same. I don't know if you were here when we bought, or when we were shopping for all this stuff. Like, I mean, because it took like a month for everything to come in. And so I probably ordered all this stuff like 2 months ago. If not longer, 2.5 months ago. But yeah, we've got the Ryzen 5600. We've got a 3060 Ti, 16 gigs of RAM, 512, half terabyte SSD. And then the P60 from Power Train, even though the box says Gamer X on the brand. I'll show it to you in a second. We are ready to go into the case. So let me clear out some space so we can get this case up here. But let me show you the box first. Okay, yeah, so if you look at this box that this Power Train came in, I don't think it says powertrain anywhere here on the box. Let me take a look again. Yeah, it says Gamer X, and then there's the model. There's the P60. And then... And yes, Casey Walls is the one who actually pointed this case out, and I checked it out on stream, and I instantly fell in love with it because you know me. But yeah, there's like... On AliExpress, it says Powertrain P60. It has Gamer X is nowhere to be seen on the listing. And then here, this is apparently the brand. So, I mean, I'm not making a big deal of it. It's just, I don't know, maybe they bought out... oh, and it even says Gamer X on the glass. So here's the case, just for anybody else who has not seen it yet. If you're new to the stream, or if you didn't make it to one of the past streams. Yeah, it's got a handle. That's pretty much... If this thing didn't have a handle, I don't know if I would have bought it. I mean, it is a cool, small case. It is pretty compact. It looks like kind of like a large ITX case, but it fits micro ATX motherboards. So, yeah, it's a pretty cool looking case, made even cooler by this pretty rigid, not rigid because it moves like this, but rugged handle. But the way that this opens is these 3 very high quality thumb screws, by the way. Again, it's the details that matter, man. Look at these. These are like nice and hefty, not coated with the plastic like them cheap cases that you buy from Newegg for 27 bucks or something. Yeah, this is some high quality stuff. And the case is like, when you feel it, compared to like the super bottom of the barrel stuff from Newegg, like this is actually decently thick. The metal, the glass. But we'll put this on the side. Here is the case. What is this rubber band? Let me see. Oh, this is the rubber band to hold in the box. The box of screws, which I have no idea where I put that when I was unboxing this for B-roll. So I might have to just use whatever screws I have in my little box. A bit concerning that the handle is on the glass. It's not on the glass. The handle's on the mesh. Do you mean a bit concerning that the handle is on the same panel as the glass? Is that what you mean? Because yeah, I mean the handle is definitely on, like, you know, the mesh portion up here. This is what it looks like from the inside. There's the handle mount. I mean, not attached directly to the case. I think if you look at a lot of cases with handles, and if you look at the top panel, how that's attached to the rest of the chassis, you will see that most of those are just riveted in. Like the top part of most cases can just easily like come off if the rivets fail. So I do get your concern though, and my thought is this: anytime you're holding a PC, especially if it's like full with parts, I was just handling it right there because it's still empty. But anytime you are handling a PC filled with parts, even if it has a handle, you should be holding it one hand on the bottom and one hand on the handle. The handle isn't necessarily there. I don't even need this. What is this? An SSD? Yeah, I don't need this thing. It's an SSD bracket. But yeah, the handle is there so that you have an easier grip on the top, not so that you could only hold it by the handle, if that makes sense. It just makes it easier, quote unquote, to handle when there's a handle. Like, it's so that you don't have to just like grab randomly on a corner or on an edge. You have something that your fingers can like wrap around and hold. But yeah, I would say don't just go swinging it around like it's a dumbbell or something. Oh boy. Okay. So we have 3 fans in this Thermalright box. We're going to have a fan in the front We're gonna have a fan in the back. Now, do we have a fan at the bottom? Or do we have a fan at the top? I'm thinking top. Let me see. Yeah, with the bottom fan... Do we care about feeding directly to the graphics card? Or just helping the system exhaust more? The top will also help with cable management, because if you can see the top here, like once you get the top, you could kind of hide behind these somewhat like hidden spaces. If you're on the bottom, you're kind of, once you start running it this way, it's kind of in the open. But so you can hopefully start to see why this case is hard to build in. This is the one chamber. You see, there is, you don't take the rear panel off. There is no rear panel. This is a single chamber case, no power supply basement, no rear side of the motherboard. Everything in here is going to be exposed, and I have to somehow work around that. But, alright, most people are saying top. Are we going to at least test the motherboard? Oh, YOLO. Always YOLO. Test the motherboard. I don't even have a monitor nearby that I could quickly hook this up to. Yeah, no. This is what we do. We build it, we turn it on, see if the lights turn on, and if it does, then maybe I go find a monitor. But I'm not pre-testing. America says, instructions unclear. Currently curling my 50-pound PC like a dumbbell. On top, it'll create negative pressure unless it... Yeah, so it's either going to be 2 intake or 2 exhaust. 2 intake will be positive pressure because more air is being pushed in than is being pulled out. And then negative... So, in terms of the whole dust situation, I've never been a huge, like, stickler or really cared for that. What is gonna... I mean, the CPU and the GPU are gonna be fine temperature-wise. Even if we only had one in the front, one in the rear. Do not go for negative pressure. Negative pressure means dust gets sucked in from everywhere. But this, dude, the point of having a mobile case is so that you can easily pick it up, take it outside, and dust it off anyways. Remember to run the CPU cable under the mobile. I have cable extensions. Oh, this is... See, this is what's going to make it worse, too. So, here's the... I unboxed these on one of the streams. I think that this is from Prime Day. But cable extensions, which will help it look nice and pretty. But, remember, everything... The power supply goes here. We got the cables, which at least is modular. But then, these extensions are not going to help with the organization at all. Like, these are gonna make it horrible. But this can at least run across the bottom pretty easily. I need to get the IO shield. What am I doing? We're talking about all the other stuff. I need to get back to building. The black GPU is gonna look like it's out of place. Yeah, if it does, we're gonna paint it. But I think the black power supply is going to look out of place too. So, has anyone vinyled a curved graphics card before? I know in cars you can vinyl wrap a curved panel, but on the graphics card it's a little bit more intricate than that. Did this thing pop in? Nope, it did not. Pop right back out. Come on. There it is. Negative pressure is not going to kill your PC. Where did you read this, Logan? Air is going to be moved no matter what. Even if you have negative pressure, the negative pressure is going to cause fresh air to be pulled in from areas without the fan. So let's say we get negative pressure by having the top exhaust, rear exhaust, only the front intake. Because there is negative pressure, this bottom side, even though there won't be any fans in there, air will be pulled through here. It's not going to be as like strong or fast as the air being pulled directly at a fan, but there will be fresh air, you know, near here being pulled in due to the negative pressure. It's not like this case has like a million openings anyways, so for the parts that we're using, it's not going to be a big deal. I'm trying to think of from a cable management standpoint, because each of these fans do have individual cables. Like one at the top here, like look, this is going to be is way easier to hide that behind, you know, the power supply, which is going to sit right here. But if we had this on the bottom pulling up, let's see, wait. I need to look at how the motherboard fits in here. We might not even be able to fit it. Actually no, this is far enough from the motherboard, but then it goes this way. Yeah, I don't know aesthetically which one will look better. In this case, or in this situation, either or is gonna work. We can pick the aesthetic route and we will be okay. Okay, got the cable. Where's that CPU cable? Here it is. Okay, so let me get this plugged in first. Oof. And it's only a 4-pin, so we gotta do this number with this. We gotta split this and then have like this extra stuff just hanging there. I cannot see. What's that saying? Good news, bad news. Looks like my teammates didn't register for volleyball league, but my favorite soccer team is in a semi-final game tonight, so I can go somewhere and watch it tonight instead now. Are you heading out, Shauner? If so, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. No, by buying that 3060 Ti, you can have one of the smallest setups, by the way. It fits in the Intel NUC 9 Extreme. Wait up, where's the tab on this thing? Am I blind? Oh no, it's right here. Yeah, the tab's right here, but this thing is fitting in oddly. Yeah, that's in. Oh, so your your Wednesdays are free again. Nice. No way you can fit those extensions? Yeah, we're gonna see. I'm gonna try. Like, this works, so I got this plugged in. Let me get the cable comb so at least it looks decently nice. See, all the unimportant aesthetic stuff is like, I feel like it's gonna hold this up. Especially trying to do the cable management. So we'll see how far we can get on stream. Where are the 4? There they are. No. Wow, they don't even make proper cable combs. So the cable combs comes in either, for the smaller ones, 3 or 4 rows, right? You only have these 2. But because this only takes 4-pin and not 8, so we need a 2x2. So I don't have anything on hand that I can just snap. Do I have a plier on hand? Maybe I don't need to snap it. Maybe it could just hang there. Or I could put it to the side. Oh, that might work actually. Somewhat. This somewhat works. You see, because there's like just a bit open gap. Man, it is hard to see with the white parts on here. But yeah, that doesn't look too bad. That'll just keep it at least somewhat nice until we get behind the motherboard. Like that, see? So yeah, we'll do that. And then we gotta route this behind the motherboard. Okay, let me see. Oh, we don't even have to go behind the motherboard. We can go behind the fan bracket, maybe. Can this fit? Will this fit? Now that this is on there, it's harder to see. It will fit. Oh, but I am now experiencing firsthand the difficulties of building in this tight case. Trying to get stuff maneuvered around. I could take the, wow, it does fit behind there. It doesn't have to go behind the motherboard. Nice. It can hide up here. I'm going to have to pop into my, let me see if I can pop into my camera on here to show it. Is this going to work? Come on, work, baby. Okay. You guys should be able to see it better now. But yeah, so the first thought was this was going to have to go behind the motherboard, but it actually fit behind here and comes out on this side. So that ends up working out. Let me get this motherboard in here. I think I'm going to have to move some... No, I don't have to move any standoffs. So what the heck? Yeah, I got to put this phone down. Well, I've been using an NZXT case for 4 years with negative pressure, just like it's supposed to be. Hasn't killed anything. It will. Wait, I don't understand where the thought process is coming from that it will shorten the lifespan of the components. If that's due to heat, you can monitor the temps in your own system, and see whether or not whatever airflow setup you have going is... Wait up. What is this? Is this just like a generic I/O shield? No, it seems pretty... Huh. Their I/O shield seems to be made for multiple motherboards. There's extra pop-outs. Okay, whatever. But yeah, having a negative airflow setup doesn't necessarily... I mean, if your temperatures are bad because of it, which I kind of doubt it will be that extreme to the point where it's going to shorten the lifespan of your components. You might have other issues going on. I wouldn't attribute it to negative airflow or negative pressure. What is going on here? What is this? Bad tolerance or what? Yeah, the motherboard standoffs are not... Oh my god, what is this? Okay, let me see. I don't know how easy it is to show. But, so, this clicked in. Like, I cannot push this in anymore. Hopefully you guys can see the I/O shield is in as lined up as it possibly can be. Like, maybe the inside will show it better. Like, you can't go in anymore. Sorry for the shakiness. So, just usually when you set something to line up, like, okay, look at these. See how those those standoff holes are aligned? But then you go... Here, let me make sure I don't move. So that standoff hole is aligned. Then you go over to here. Look at the alignment on that one. Again, we go back over here. Haven't moved the motherboard. It's pretty lined up. And then over here. Look at that. And then let me look at the... Up here. So you can see in that hole, it's like halfway, but I can apply more pressure. So up here, that hole looks, man, I am pushing this thing hard. So now that's lined up. And that, look at that. What is this? A lot, like, again, I'm trying to hold it as, I'm having to apply more than normal pressure to get this to line up. I might just have to stick some screws in it. But, that's not that good of a sign for this case. Maybe I got a one-off that had, like, bad tolerances. But these standoff holes are not, not the best tolerances. Kale130 says, I've removed my mobile several times and it stays in place with how hard it was to get there and a cut finger, it should. Yeah, so let me try to at least get a couple of screws in here and see what's going on. In my random assortment of screw. Let's see. Yeah, let me try to get these far ones that seem the most unaligned in. If anything, I feel like once you get these outer ones in, this thing is so forced in place that I wouldn't even need to put the rest of them in. It'll be just like locked. Paladin X says AliExpress motherboard. Indeed, the AliExpress specialist, machinist special. Man, yeah, dude, the amount I'm having to like kind of flex the IO shield. I don't know, maybe it's the motherboard to blame. I don't know where the tolerances are. I haven't tried this motherboard in a different case yet, so it's hard to tell which one is giving me trouble here. Yeah, see, the amount of pressure I have to apply to this, it's causing the case to slide. Hopefully this wasn't painted cheaply so that the holes got paint in them and they don't screw in and play nicely. Did I even turn this the right way? I did. Yeah, I'm trying to catch the thread on here. Oh boy. Bro. Honestly, I don't even think this... I don't remember ever having this much trouble screwing a motherboard into a case. Come on. Catch a couple of threads. There you go. Finally. Well then. Alright, now that that is in, this one too. Yeah. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, now they look more-ish lined up. I built with quite a few of them, and 9 times out of 10, the IO shield is cooked. Yeah, actually, I am thinking it's the IO shield. It is pretty flexed in the back here. So what I'm thinking was just happening was the IO shield was pushing back and causing it to essentially like the bottom would line up because there's no IO shield and then the top doesn't. But I think we're in now. We should be good. These are not breakaway covers, so I don't have to worry about that. How are we doing on time, by the way? Shoot. I've been talking too much and not building enough and running into random trouble. We haven't even gotten to the hard part yet of getting the power supply in. Okay, we got 3 points of contact. I'll get the rest of the screws in, but we got a 2D plane made from 3 points of contact, so we should be good. So fans. Definitely gonna have one in the rear. Oh boy, my favorite part of building a PC. Using these screws that you have to dig into these fans and apply a lot of torque. So much torque that a lot of electric screwdrivers can't do it. But yeah, I'm just gonna get this in here. Cable management is gonna be whatever for now. I will somewhat deal with it later. What's that saying? Cable management. Just go for it. Jason, what did you retract? What did I miss? What naughty thing did you say? Oh, which, by the way, I'll probably try to make another announcement by the end of the stream, but this coming Monday, or I guess next week Monday, the next Monday that will occur in life, I'm going to be, or Jason is going to be streaming on his channel, and I will be joining him for that stream, and we're just going to talk whatever random stuff, PC building, gaming, and then playing some game, which I don't think I've chosen yet, but yeah, it's gonna be a hangout stream between two tech tubers. So definitely subscribe to Jason, and then be on the lookout for that stream. That's gonna be on his channel, not mine. We're not gonna dual stream or anything like that, and it's gonna be a chill, fun stream where you should be able to get more one-on-one time with both of us, because that's just what these streams are, to be honest. Like, compared to YouTube comments and stuff like that, it is way easier to ask me questions and get me to respond, or at least acknowledge, you know, here, because it's a smaller audience than with the videos. The videos, like, you know, there's thousands of views. With the streams, it's like 100 people, if that. It's usually less. So Jonathan Talks Hardware, 199 super chat. Hey Danny, how's your day? My day is going pretty good so far. I'm streaming, I'm building a computer. Not sure if I could ask for much more, except for my foot to be better. That's the only thing. I will continue to complain about that. Regarding my foot situation, though, the doctors came to a new theory or diagnosis. What's it called? I gotta look it up. Because so I went to the doctor yesterday to get my stitches out of my foot. And then they also said that we did some more digging and research. It's avascular necrosis. Essentially, avascular necrosis. It is when you don't get sufficient, like blood or, yeah, blood flow to certain parts of your body, and then the bone dies. Hopefully my bone is not dead. It seems to be alive based on all the scans and x-rays, but it is in a very weakened state right now in my midfoot. And that kind of makes sense, because my blood flow to my foot, as you guys have seen in previous streams where it was purple and red due to not being elevated. Yeah, there's something going wrong with the blood flow going to my foot. There's nothing wrong with the actual like veins and arteries. This is just like an autoimmune type thing is what they're thinking, because I do have lupus. So we're looking into a BGS, bone growth stimulator, which is essentially an electron, like a device that sends current through your bone to help it heal and regrow faster. But those things are like $5,000, so we're trying to get insurance to cover it. So that's where I am with my foot right now. I still can't walk on it, but yeah. Okay, so we got that fan in. We got this. Bro doesn't react to money. I'm hopeless? What do you mean? Wait, what did Matthew Deere super chat something? Oh, Matthew Deere, I'm sorry. I totally missed it. CZK 100. By the way, I don't do that on purpose, obviously. It's just I think when you sent it, I was like looking into the PC super deep or something. I didn't hear the notification. Here's some money to help out. Congrats, cheer you up, show and share love, fund or whatever. Though I'm broke and just got here and I don't know you, still why not? Why would love to talk and help each other. That's what these streams are for. Which, by the way, I appreciate it. And I'm sorry I missed your super chat, but thank you for bringing it back up. Because, especially with these so I got two different chats I need to look at, as well as try to build this dang computer, and I was running into problems with the motherboard earlier, so I do apologize for... Does this pop off? Yeah, I apologize for missing it, but I appreciate the donation. What, CZK, is that Czech Republic, currency? Or is there a different... Okay, how do you pop this off? Or is there a different country with CZK for the currency? Usually you just pop... Okay, front panels. Aren't these like the worst things ever to try to pop off sometimes? Let me make sure there's not something... Oh, they're these, okay. They used these kind of old school style. of like push pins almost. I'll show it once I get it off. But I think I gotta squeeze it with like a plier. At least to get some of it off. There it is. And now it just pulls through. Yeah, these ones, sometimes you just gotta pull, yank on them. What's the parts of the build? It's in the description, but I don't know if on YouTube Shorts it's as easy. Yeah, you just gotta pull on these. It feels like you're gonna break them half the time, though. Okay, so yeah, there you go. Casey Wall says, I don't have lupus, but I already have arthritis in my spine and I'm only 31. Yeah, sometimes we are dealt the crappy hand in life. Arthritis is... It's one of those things where it's really hard to explain to people, like, what it feels like. Because you can't, like, really easily visually see it, like a broken bone or something like that. It's just like the degradation of your joints and your bones and stuff like that. And it could cause a really sharp pain. Like the pain from arthritis is, it could feel like straight up whatever joint is like broken. Jonathan talks hardware with the tech tip for people watching YouTube Shorts. If you hold on the Shorts video or a live stream on vertical format, you can press and hold the video / stream and hit description. So that's how you can get to the description on Shorts, apparently. Damani McLean. Hey, I caught a build stream as I get a RAM and mobile upgrade. Nice. What are you upgrading to? Young says, I just built my third PC last week. Nice. Your third PC as in like the third PC you've owned? Or you built a third one and you're like a buyer, seller, flipper type of deal? Like, it is your third PC, but you still only ever have one PC at a given time. Because you've, like, essentially upgraded. Alright, we got those two fans in. Ooh, look at that. Okay, I can put this front cover back on, I believe. No, the power supply... Oh, no, power supply gets screwed up top, so we're good. We are good there. Let me clear that thing so it doesn't impede. Mark, the last name redacted. Just following the vibe. Hope y'all have a good night. Mark, thank you for the... Is the thing gonna pop up? Did I miss the dancing dude? Wait, Mark, the last name redacted. Are you a normal viewer of the channel, or did you find... Because you are in the Shorts chat, the vertical stream. Or did you find it just randomly scrolling to YouTube? This stream. This is live, by the way, which is how I was able to pull up your message. Okay. We're gonna go... Oh my gosh, look at all these wires. So this fan can either fit up top, which I'm gonna have to... Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to... Oh no, it goes in pretty easily. So yeah, the fan slips in just like this. Let me show you. With... Randomly just now. Wow. Well, welcome to the stream. I'm normally not too much of a Shorts content creator / streamer. I have 2 versions of stream going up, but I just started this short stream, so it looks like it is working to find new people. But yeah, we do PC stuff around here. And today we're building this PC. But thanks for the $2 super chat for the vibes. I appreciate it. Especially since you just randomly came across the channel just now to donate $2 like that. That was very kind of you. Okay. This is what we're looking at. So we've got the rear fan in, the front fan in. Power supply goes right there. I'll put that in a second. But, so I could either put this in like so. This just slides right in. Boop. And you got a fan like right there next to the tower cooler. Or we put the fan down here like, not like that. We would have to flip it for intake. Like this. So I'm gonna run a poll, and we're gonna go with whatever the poll says. And then if anyone gives me crap for it, then I'm just gonna say we did it based on the poll. Alright, so what are we gonna do? Poll. Which fan placement? Top exhaust, bottom intake. Let me run the poll over here on the short stream as well. Okay, so we got the poll running on both. I will let that run for a bit while we can put the power supply in. Oops, sorry. I thought I canceled it on the phone. We can put the power supply in while we wait for the poll results because the fan isn't going to get in the way of that. So, alright, what cables do we need? This 3060 Ti is just a single pin, so we can use only the single 8-pin. I believe there's one of those here. Yes. So your CPU, your VGA. Okay. Yeah, so this goes in. Oh man, look how much space that's just gonna take up. Oh boy. I gotta pull all these cables out of the way. I gotta start connecting some of these cables to the motherboard, actually. All the USB and stuff like that. Okay. Front input, top and back exit. No rug remnants or dog cat hair. That is a good point. Even though most of the PCs... I usually put a PC on the table, but I know some people do put their PCs on the ground. Got the audio. See if I can slip the audio down here. Get out of my way, RGB cable. Sorry, my head's gonna block a little bit. What do you got here? 2 bottom intake. The top fan is too close, but putting it at the bottom would look strange as well. 2 bottom intake, none in the front. Here's the thing, we also don't have to put in all 3 fans. This fan 3-pack was how much was it? $13, I think. $12.99. I need to look again. So even if you only get 2 fan uses out of it, that's still like on average $6 or $7 a fan. Front to back is like usually in almost every case out there. That is the norm, the standard, what comes in the case already. We can just leave it only this front and this back, and don't even put this in because this is just more wires and cables anyways. And honestly, with parts like the 3060 Ti, so maybe that should be an option. Just no third fan at all. Let me see what the votes are looking like so far. Fans are overrated. Gamer Texas would kill you for this. I have front to back fans. Yeah, so I think front to back would probably be okay, but we'll see. I've only built one before. Doesn't matter if you have an odd number of fans. In out ratio, no. It's not a big deal in my opinion. I've built plenty of PCs where it's like 3 in the front and just the 1 rear, or 3 in the front. Let's see, 2 in the top, 1 in the rear. I'm sure I've built tons of PCs with imbalanced intake what's it called? When it's imbalanced, all you do get is a positive or negative pressure. That's about it. But it's not like you don't get airflow anymore. You still have air going over your parts. Yeah, I don't know. Is there a video that actually goes into like the deep science of positive versus negative pressure and its effects on temperature? And if so, what parts do they use in the system? Are we talking about like 4090s and i9s? Because when you have mid-range parts like this, to me, it doesn't matter. Kale130 says, heck, I ran 7 years on a PC with non-optimal airflow. I think what people should do, if you're very, like, skeptical about this, is go unplug some random fans in your case and just see how much that affects your temperature. Like, if you have 6 fans in your case, go unplug just, like, one of the front ones so that it becomes imbalanced and then it becomes negative pressure. You'll see how much it actually affects the temperatures. And I'm going to say it's not going to be much. Jay's 2 cents did a whole bit. I remember Jay doing a video, but it was so long ago that I don't even remember what the results were. Yeah. Jonathan Talks Hardware says, are you using another cheapo AliExpress case? Another one? I haven't used a cheapo AliExpress case in a while. If anything at all. This might be the first AliExpress case I'm actually using because case prices are honestly pretty good in the US. The only reason I bought this case was because, yeah, I bought this case because it had a handle at $40, or it was actually 30 something after the coupon, and you just don't find that in the US. So, what? Oh, this has like a power supply angled cable because that's how it has to connect. Let me see. What else do we got in here? So we got these fans. Where's the USB 3? Gotta plug that in. See if I can run that under the motherboard as well for a cleaner look. Nope. It's gonna hit a... Come on. Nah, it's gonna hit a bunch of... It's gonna hit too many things. Too many of the solder points on the back of the motherboard. Alright, we got that plugged in. So now we've kind of cleared up the space here for this gigantic... Not even gigantic. This is a standard ATX power supply. It's not even elongated. But what do we got? So we need the SATA for that RGB controller. We've got CPU, PCIe. Okay. Should be good. Let's get this. And the fan goes out the front, because that's where the ventilation is. So yeah, this goes in like so. And it sits like this. And look at that. It's already eating into, I don't know, maybe like 20% of the front fan. Okay, let me find the screws for this. Here we go. Intake everywhere but the rear. My PC has 3 front intake fans and 1 rear exhaust fan. Should I add more? Maybe 2 exhaust to stop? Reluctant Hero. What are your temps like when you're gaming or doing whatever the heck you do that is intense on your PC? If your temps are fine, don't worry about it. Like, if you want it aesthetically, that's one thing, but like, you're asking if you should add more fans, but I'm saying if your temperatures are fine, like if under load, your CPU and GPU are, I don't know, going no higher than like 85 or something, I wouldn't be too worried. Because first of all, if your system is already running that hot, I don't know if adding just 1 or 2 fans is gonna bring it down more. It depends on what your setup is like. It's hard to give advice without knowing what the baseline is, though. What the heck, man? Oh, I gotta take this bracket off. Because I can't reach... I'm going to screw in what I can now, but then I'm going to take the bracket off. Because, like with many small cases, what you have to do is put the bracket on and then slip the bracket with the part into the case. Okay, so yeah, there's... Looks like two screws right here to remove this bracket. Okay, what's the results looking like? Top exhaust wins on both. So people are thinking top exhaust Though I wonder if we put in that the option for just run 2 fans, if that one would have done decently well in the votes. What else is this being held in by? Oh, there's one down here too. There's a third bracket screw. So yeah, if anything, I could put white vinyl across these 2 sides. But then you got these black cables sticking out the bottom. So then it'd be better just to put like a white panel here. But I'll have to see. So yeah, this pops out so that I can reach these other screw points. And you just grab the screws for it. I would not build on that case. I feel like once you build, unless you're swapping out parts a ton, going through the hassle of building in a case you like isn't the end of the world. Because like you go through the hassle, like what's the time on now? And normally I would build decently quicker when I'm not having to go back and forth between chat and stuff, but it's 6:30. So we've been building this quote unquote for an hour and a half, even though I did spend some time explaining stuff and showing different things instead of just straight building. But yeah, like having a frustrating build if you don't switch parts out a bunch and you're just, you for the most part just do it that one time, and then maybe like years down the line you switch out the graphics card or CPU. I feel like that's kind of like okay. There's nothing about this case so far that I've seen that I would be like, oh, stay away from it just yet. But we'll see as we continue and try to do the cable management, because that might be the big. I mean, I'm actually pretty sure already that that's the biggest downside. Okay, this goes back in. If only the PSU yeah, that's the thing. Like, at the budget we're working at, there's no way I could afford custom cable mod cables, which already run like, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 bucks for cables, not even the power supply. And there's no way I was going to find an SFX power supply, which generally has, a smaller form factor and shorter cables. So yeah, this is just one of those things where it's great that this case takes full ATX power supplies. But the way that it's designed, you're going to have to do some stuff with cable management. I mean, we've got most of it in there now. Graphics card. See, so this is why I wanted to pick a graphics card that was only 2-fan and somewhat small. Because if it was any bigger, once this goes in, it could, like the 3-fan MSI one that the guy who sold me this had, I think it might have hit, or not the 3-fan, but it was a big 2-fan MSI one. It was like way bigger. It might have hit the power supply here. So, yeah. So now we got a half black, half white. Kind of funky looking build. But again, we might be able to get a white. I'll figure out something and maybe put it here and then spray paint this. Though even if we spray paint this, let me see. Remember people in the previous stream were saying when we spray painted it, don't like leave this section because there's a peel here. And then when I peeled it, it would leave this black. I'm thinking we have to spray paint this white now if we look at it. Because if we leave this words, this printed text and this XC, this is a decent amount of black on this face. Like, painting just white around the trim, I don't know. I don't know if that would look good. Also, when we close this up, some of this is going to be hidden. So, that might help it too. Wait, where's the front power? Okay, here they are. Power switch, all that good stuff. Let me plug in the front panel. We're basically at the point where I could start somewhat cable managing, but let's just put window tint on. Yeah, put window tint on the glass. that would have been nice, and then not even worry about the inside colors at all. Okay, so power. What does this even have? Power, and then power LED. Wait, what? Is there no reset button on this thing? No, there isn't. I guess you just use the power. So yeah, just at least I guess that's kind of nice. Power LED. Where? Oh my goodness. I hate this every single time. How has this not been standardized in case manufacturers? NZXT has done it. Their case, the front panel stuff is all one. If I can get this in. Sorry, you're just seeing my head right now. Okay, should be good. Does spray painting or anything like that make it run hotter? Not from what I've seen. Because you're not spraying on the heatsink. Well, you're spraying on the back plate, but from what I've seen, it makes minimal differences. Yeah, so like when you spray paint this, spray painting the fans and the shroud is not going to affect it at all. But the back plate, depending on how much this actually, like, I'm trying to think how much of a job this back plate actually does with cooling. Looking at it, you guys probably can't see it as well. It's not like there's thermal pads at like critical points on the PCB connecting it to this back plate. So, I mean, I'm thinking this is just decorative. So painting it and changing its like ability to like heat capacitance, I don't think that's gonna make more like an effect that's larger than like negligible. What's up, Big Epic Gamer? The fans could cause a problem if you don't get equal coverage. Wait, are we talking about the whole pressure thing again? Okay, I kind of really need to find that. It looks like the votes are going for exhaust. Yeah, the exhaust is like winning by a lot now. So if we go exhaust right here, that does look kind of funny, but actually it's kind of covered up because once you put this on, you have like this part kind of hiding a little bit of the top. So it looks like based on the votes, we are going with the top exhaust. Just let me get this screwed in, and then I just want to power this on before the end of the stream. Whether or not it actually works, I'll figure that out on my own time, and then I'll wrap it up and make the video on it. But after building all this, just getting it to power on is the goal. The fan is way too close to the tower cooler. It is pretty darn close. Don't worry. I'll monitor temps. I'll run it at full CPU core load. I am pretty confident it's going to be okay. But you'll see in the video if I do change up the fan location. Alright, so we got all these wires. Nothing else needs... Oh, can I find a battery real quick? How are we doing on time? 6:40. I don't just have any junker motherboards laying around that I can just pull a battery from. It'll still start without the battery. Okay, let's take a look at what cable management initially is going to look like in this system. So where's the CPU? So this is what cable management is going to look like. It's going to be running this to the back, because there is a gap between the back or that side of the case. See, it can hide back here, and then connecting to whatever. Oh, that 24 pin is not going to be fun. Starting to feel the tightness of this case now. So yeah, once this is in here, it can hide in the back, kind of like that. Ish. Yeah, let me show. Yeah, so here's the cable. Just tucks away behind here. So there's a decent amount of room back here that we can tuck stuff. So hopefully we can get almost all the cables. Let me get the graphics card in, so then I can get that cabled up and then cable managed to the side. It recommends a slim fan for up top. Is that what the product page said? The fan spins freely. It doesn't hit that spring. All right. Anything else we have to plug in before I do this and then have to undo stuff? Where's all the fan headers on this motherboard? What, are they expecting us to power these by Molex? Okay, that one at the top. I'm gonna have to grab one of those eBay splitters that I have. Oh no, the fan, no, the fans are all daisy chained. Oh, thank God. Thank God, Thermalright, man. So, Thermalright fans, you only need to plug one in, and it can daisy chain to two others, and that should be fine. I forget what the limit is for generally how many fans you want to put on one header, but a splitter to 3, the math on it should work out to be safe. Oops, sorry, I'm bumping the camera. Three is what Thermalright says. Okay. See, I'm kind of questioning if it's even worth using the extension cables. Because look, this is what this is going to look like. I'm going to plug this in. Okay, I'll put the combs on later. Don't worry about that. If we decide to keep this. But like, so then you plug this in and look at this, how long and gangly all this is. So you have all this crap, and then yeah, I'm gonna have to replug that in because all this crap is in the way. But then you gotta take this and then run it all the way to the back here, and then try to tuck it around the side, which, I mean, it fits, but... And don't worry, remember, we can still paint the graphics card white. Actually, no, that looks better. I was wrong. I was thinking there wouldn't be enough cable to show, but no, that looks fine. Let me put one comb on here. I recommend putting a big sticker bottom right to hide the PSU cables. Yeah, so I have, my wife has a vinyl cutter with some vinyl sheets. I can put like a big vinyl sticker on here and then put some kind of, I don't know, plastic square piece right there to cover it. And vinyl's relatively cheap. Like, it could still easily come under 500 just by adding that and then whatever random piece of... It doesn't have to be plastic. It could be like cardboard that I put vinyl on. Okay, so this is looking a little bit cleaner right there. So yeah, black power supply, black graphics card sticks out. Oh, here's the fun part. The main motherboard power, pop with this thing. Let me connect this to the motherboard first. Actually, let me put these combs on. Wasn't it one of these streams where people complained about how annoying putting on combs were? The braided cables. Yo, Drew is coming to you next week, bro. Oh yeah, PAX is next week. Anyone going to PAX besides Drew? PAX West in Seattle. I will be at PAX. I will be interviewing, doing that street style interview, asking people questions about their PCs, and then I have some new questions to ask them as well. But also just checking out, you know, the convention. Honestly, my favorite thing about PAX is watching cosplay. Just seeing all the different crazy cosplay that people come up with. I hope the weather is nice, because going to a convention where you have to go between buildings when it's raining and drizzly sucks. Alright, I'm going to end the poll. We went with the top exhaust. You gonna shoot in vertical? No. I'm not going to shoot in vertical. Shooting in vertical gives you less side-by-side room. Maybe. I don't know if I'll even shoot in 4K. The shorts have been doing fine as they are. I might just keep it the same. Shooting in vertical also on the tripod just makes it like weirdly balanced. And just the framing of it is not as ideal. I feel like with shorts, your quality could be pretty bad so long as whatever you're showing is entertaining enough. You can get away with it more than long form content. Okay, so this is going to go in here. And then we have... God, this is so long. Just look at this, like, extra flop. I'm supposed to try to hide this. Somehow I'm supposed to try to hide all this. If we do come up with the cover here, I could just shove this over here. It's going to block the fan, but as we've seen, the air will find a way around. If you guys haven't seen that video from Linus Tech Tips, Luke just stuffs a PC case with like almost everything, and the temperatures don't even change at all. But yeah, if I shoved it down here, I gotta connect the fans. But aside from that, this is pretty much done, except for the RGB. How much time do we have? Pika Wubs. Oh my god, we got tech always in the house. How am I missing all of this? No way this guy has vertical stream going on. What up, Charles? What the frick, Charles? How you doing, man? Good to see you in the chat. Give me a second. I gotta put this thing on as I go across the basement to try to find this RGB controller. I know I have other RGB controllers, but I had the really cheap one. Dang it, where is Where would I have put it? Where? Come on. Sorry for my heavy breathing into the mic. I should move away from the mic to breathe in, if you guys know what that reference is. It might start sounding robotic. I don't know how the range is going to do. Okay. I'm going to have to find that thing some other time, because I ain't got time to be searching for that in this huge mess of studio when we got dinner on the line. So this is what we do. Let me take this off. We have, for now, 2 other RGB controllers. These aren't the ones I'm going to use, because these ones are just from cases and stuff I've gotten over the years. But I bought one specifically for this build from Amazon. But this is going to just be here to just power on the system. And we don't even need to use, well, there's no extensions for SATA. But let me put this on. And then I just need to connect all the fans. Oh, this is such a huge mess of wires. I'm definitely going to go back through and cable manage. But for the interest of time, we're just going to connect stuff. We just got to do it. Look at this. Look at all these cables, man. Okay. I'm a mess right now. Give me a second to sort all this. Yeah, I need to just not worry about cable managing yet, because we need to see if this thing lights up and turns on. Yeah, see, okay. The one good thing about Thermalright is they give you every single connector. You know, there's the fan power and then the RGB. All of them have pigtails, so you can daisy chain. But that essentially makes it so that the end of each wire is 4 wires. And as you can probably see, when you have that times 3 fans, that's 12 different connectors. You could easily get lost in the sauce. I'm just trying to connect stuff, man. Like, I need to worry about the fans first, and then worry about the RGB after. Come on. Oh, these bent pins. Seriously? There we go. And then we got this down here. Oh, this cable management. And then I gotta somehow plug this into the motherboard. Dude, what's up with these Thermalright pins? I've never dealt with this before on their fans. Okay, so all those, I just gotta connect this to the motherboard. But let me deal with the RGB. This is not something that should be rushed, but I am rushing because the stream has a set time to end. What the? Wait. What's going on? Okay, apparently that one doesn't have the daisy chain. It doesn't look like all 3 fans. What's going on? Okay. I want to read chat right now to see what you guys are saying as I am rushing to get this mess together. Alright, is this all good? And then this plugs into that, and then that goes into the header. Oh boy, what a mess. ITX is a nightmare, man. And this isn't even ITX. This is micro ATX, technically. Even though it is really close to an ITX form factor. Let me make sure that's off. Okay. ITX, I'm going to be honest. I've built in multiple ITX cases over the years. This is worse than any of the ITX I've ever built in, to be honest. That fan header is way down there. If I can get this in with some pliers, because I do not want to remove the fans that I screwed in. Please, not like this. Get in there. Plugging stuff in at the top of the motherboard after you've already put in like your top fans or your top AIO, and then you're too stubborn to remove them to have more clearance, that's like just the standard PC building. If you're not doing that, then I don't know, you're not doing it right. That's how you impose hardships on yourself, because you live in a first world country and things have been going too easy. Come on. No, that's not happening. Please, I do not want to take this off. There's no other fan headers on here either. I could just get this plugged into. You know what? We don't even need these fans to run, to be honest. Especially just for the power on. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. We're going back in with the needle nose. Nope, that wasn't happening. Wait, does this just pull out? Oh, it does, pretty easily. This fan bracket, yeah, I can just take it off. We're doing it. I haven't missed any super chats, have I? If I did, let me know. Because for some reason, I'm not hearing the notifications. Alright, that comes out. Let me plug this fan in. Then I'm just going to put it back in its place without tightening it down, or without fastening it down. Okay. And this just goes like right here. Worst cable management in the world right now. Okay. Where's my power cable? Do I have one nearby that I could plug into this PC? That I do. I think. Crap. Why is this thing so short? What's chat saying? Get Melissa's tiny baby hands to do it. She does have tiny baby hands. She's probably taking a nap right now, though. Oh, that's not even the right... That's a Mickey Mouse connector. What is going on? Where are all my power cables? Here they are. Alright. Okay, that's off. Plug this in. Alright. Where's this RGB thing? Okay. In theory, this should work. This should not blow up in my face. This is pretty much ready to go. Don't worry about cable management again. I will get it. Eventually. Alright, over-unders for if this thing powers on. I need to make sure all these cables are not in the way of fans. I don't want the fan slicing up all these delicate cables. Okay. Let me double check, make sure everything is plugged in. I think we're good to go. Turning this on, it should work. Immediate explosion, I know, right? What's a good place to sell PCs instead of eBay? Birth of Mac HD asks. Facebook Marketplace, offer up. Jawa.gg. If you have not if you do not have good luck selling locally because your market just sucks and people don't care about PCs, Jawa.gg. It is like a platform. It's made for, you know, buying and selling like parts, but the things that sell the most on there, I feel, are fully built PCs. Wait up. We good? Are we good? I think we're good. We're powering this baby up. We're doing it. Power supply switch. Do not blow up. Alright, it turns on. Let me select some RGB effects or whatever with this controller. Ooh, that green and white and black is looking not too bad. What else we got here? We got the white. I do not want the flashy. Okay, there's some fixed. You guys can't really see. Let me lift it up. We got some fixed. Wow, that is too bright. Here. What is going on? Let me turn this down. Let me turn down these lights. Is that looking better? You can kind of see it. No, it's still kind of blown out for some reason. Dang it, Elgato. But, alright, now we got our solid colors. Ooh, that green, though. I'm liking that. All these parts are 500 WTH. I mean, they're all used parts for the most part. Not the CPUs. At least I don't think so. Were they used? Were these 5600s used? Or were they just tray CPUs? As in, they don't come in their box. But aside from the CPU, well, motherboard I think was new. CPU might have been new. RAM I believe was new. Okay, so like some of the parts were used. I guess CPU is a major part, but the most expensive part, the graphics card, the 3060 Ti, was $200. Okay, this turns on. Let me get the monitor. That's the next test. If it has a signal to the BIOS, then we have successfully built the PC so far. Okay, let me plug this in. Ah, my foot. Plug this in. Come on, give me a BIOS screen or something. Cable managing this thing off stream is gonna be fun. Quote unquote fun. I'm gonna have to restart this because I didn't already have it plugged in. Let me do that. Let me see what chat's saying. Lol, Machinist BIOS. I know, right? This is gonna be either the... I mean, I don't think we're gonna change any of the settings in the BIOS, but it's either gonna be the worst BIOS or it's not gonna even matter. M.2 is the way to go. HDDs, SSDs don't fit in this case. They do. HDDs, at least. So there's this tray. This tray was meant for 2.5-inch drives, so you could get a laptop 2.5-inch HDD. Not ideal because generally those are slow as heck, 5,400 RPMs. Or 2.5-inch SSD works, but M.2 is definitely like the go-to in this day and age. You would be really like hard pressed on a low budget or something like that to consider, you know, something aside from NVMe. Or I guess if you have a motherboard that only has SATA and doesn't have like an M.2 connector. I told you it'd be a struggle, lol. You know, if I did this build without RGB, just straight up like white plain fans, that would have made it easier. And then if I didn't do the cable extensions, that would have made it a lot cleaner. But yeah, it definitely was a struggle. And doing it on stream kind of against the clock doesn't help. But I mean, we got it done, though I'm not getting a signal for some reason. What's going on here? Is something wrong with my little tiny monitor? Is it set to like... Oh, it's set to type C. Come on, HDMI. Come on. There it is! It works! We're not at the BIOS screen, but... let me plug in a keyboard real quick. And we'll see... if we can get into the BIOS. And then we can start, or I'm gonna install Windows on my own time, but. Alright, what do I press? Delete? What is the spam key to get into BIOS for this motherboard? Machinist! Oh, here we go. There we go, baby. Let's go. Alright. I mean... Sunday 1/1/2023. Oh yeah, I gotta put the BIOS, the CMOS battery in. Graphics configuration, yeah. It's all here. And it's in English, which is nice. Did not have to change any of that. Where's just the general information? Like, where it just tells you, like, oh, what your CPU is and stuff. I'm not seeing that. Going through all these. Yeah, I'm not seeing it either. I kind of want to... I didn't test the 5600 prior on another motherboard, so... CPU configuration. Yeah, what the heck? Where's just like the basic information? Memory configuration. Okay, so it, this is strange. Like, it's not telling me how much memory there is. There should be 16 gigs. I'm not really worried. It's just the way that this BIOS is configured. Oh, hardware monitor. Here we go. Hardware monitor, nope, that's just fans. Interesting. Huh. So, I'm going to have to play around with this. You guys probably can barely see it because of it's a camera pointed at a screen. But, let's take a look at, I'm going to unplug this. I want to take a look at what this looks like when it's closed up with this weird color scheme going on. So, let me turn the lights back up. And sorry, if you said stuff in chat, save your comments for when I'm looking at the screen, because I'm trying to somewhat rush getting this done. If I can even close this up, actually. What is hitting? Come on. It was not hitting. Oh, that's why. Whoops. I didn't align the fan bracket. There we go. Yeah, so there's no interference with the top cooler, though. Yeah, I'm actually going to leave it like this to test the temperatures, because the fan being that close to the heatsink fins, it's like it's got two directions of airflow trying to fight against each other. So I'm going to try it with and without the fan and see what the temperature difference is like. But that's after I install Windows and get all the software and stuff on it to monitor. Yeah, it is an interesting configuration. And I'll talk about it in the video. Alright. Let's get all these cables just kind of nicely shoved in here so I can close this up. Oh my god, everything's hitting every fan. Oh god, the CPU fan got stopped. Oh man, look at this. Okay, it just needs to close. That's all we're trying to do. It just needs to close. And then I'll change the angle for you guys to see. Alright, it's closed. It's gonna stand up now. Oops, there's a cable sticking out. Okay, give me a second. Get in there. You too. I promise this thing will be more cleaned up by the time you see it in a video. It's just dinner time and I'm hungry. Here, I gotta lay it back down to find the notch. What is getting in this thing's way? Okay, there we go. Alright. Alright, so this isn't gonna be the final view of it. Oh. Okay. Let me turn off, or actually no, the lights are fine. Let me get this out of the way. So here's the build from the front. Here's the build from the side. Now imagine it with the cables more hidden. I will do all of that. But yeah, that black power supply. So I'm going to need, if I do it all white, which I think we kind of have to. This looks kind of weird to me. We need the vinyl wrap to go across this face, as well as the other face inward. So just those two panels for the most part. And then for here, I mean, we just spray paint it white with the Rust-Oleum paint and primer. Paint the PSU? Okay, I don't know about all that. I kind of like the information that's shown on here, so I don't want it to be, like, permanently gone. Because once, I don't know what I'm doing with this build afterwards. I might take it apart. What is this on here? But yeah, I might take it apart. So I don't want to paint the power supply if that ends up needing to be used somewhere else. I'm okay with painting the graphics card because I want to make a video like specifically showing how to paint a graphics card because it is a little bit more difficult. Painting the power supply would actually be really easy. Just tape it off. It's very flat and straight. But yeah, I don't really want to paint it. Especially if I could vinyl wrap this graphics card, I would. But that's kind of hard to do with all the curved surfaces and the fans. Even though you can't even see, with this case, you can't even see the bottom side. Like even if I painted the back plate white and this front face white, if I don't paint the fans, there's like no angle you could look at this where you could see the fan side at all. But that would look weird to not paint the whole thing white, especially since I'm going to do it for a video. So yeah, there it is. There's the build. I'm not going to pick this up by the handle because I don't even fully have it on right now. But okay, let's look at chat because I have neglected y'all for far too long. Alright, what's going on with chat? There should be more white PSUs. There should, but I don't know. I feel like making white stuff is just expensive. I feel like black, and this is me just going off of what makes sense to me. I don't know if Mike or anyone else actually in the industry knows. So if you've ever tried to paint anything white, you know how many more coats you would have to apply over like the bare stock metal color or whatever. If you're trying to cover up graffiti on the wall, if you want to use white to cover it, it takes so many more layers than it would like black or something, right? And then with white, you kind of have like the difficulty of like what tint of white, right? Not all whites are the same, etc. Like when you make black PC parts, I just have to imagine it's way easier to achieve the color black or grayish black than it is a pure white. I'm so boring. I just like all black with red. all black with red. That's like the MKBHD color scheme with a little bit of white in there. That's fine too. Nothing wrong with a pretty simple, like black build with a little bit of a highlight color. Is chat broken? Chat might be broken with me pulling these random like things up because I need to still practice at it, but it looks fine to me. That color scheme was my first built PC I ever had. Which color scheme? White and green, or are you talking about red and black? They sell white RGB backplate covers. I have one from a random gaming PC. I don't know what to do with it. White RGB backplate covers. You talking about for graphics cards? I'm pretty sure. Here, let me hide this. And no, not that. Elgato face cam. Where the heck is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so you're talking about, let's click on Amazon. Okay, I don't know why that RGB backplate. I think I've seen these for graphics card. Or maybe it's on AliExpress. I've seen like generically plain or even with anime and stuff on it, but yeah, usually they do have anime. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I've seen those. But it's like I would, yeah, but then it's not permanent like painting. Paint is so cheap. This can of spray paint was like $6.99 at Home Depot or something, and I could paint a lot with this. I'm only gonna be painting the graphics card, but like I could paint multiple graphics cards with this. Those back plates, I'm sure because they have RGB and they're like acrylic, they're more expensive, but what do we got here? It's not worth it to create another building just to paint in another color. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Micro Center Miami opened last Friday. Awesome. The line for checkout had hundreds of people in it. Yeah, I saw someone post on Reddit. Like they were the first in line. It was these two dudes. First in line at Micro Center. Let's see if I can find it. Should be pretty easy. Reddit, Micro Center, Miami, first in line. We're the only two nerds here. This is the one I saw. Yep, these two guys. So they went to the early opening of Micro Center. What time did... They said they got there at like midnight or something, I think. But yeah, I mean, congrats to, you know, the folks that live around there. I mean, getting a brand new Micro Center where they like incorporated the store layout and stuff like that to the best that it has been. Because like they remodeled the California Micro Center to be more like up to date. But when you get a freshly built one, it's gonna of course have that layout and setup already. So I mean, I'm jealous. I've been wanting Micro Center up in Seattle since before Fry's closed down. Our Fry's closed down, I think, during the pandemic at some point. Unless I'm wrong and it closed down before that. It's just, I had stopped going to Fry's for so long before the pandemic even. So, but yeah, dude, a Micro Center is much needed. Seattle, hello? Microsoft, Amazon, where else we got? Google, we got so many. Adobe has an office up here. There's so many. And I know, like, tech workers don't buy their own computers, but Seattle is a major tech hub. There are a lot of big tech companies here, specifically like software companies. How do we not have something like Micro Center where, of course, there's a bunch of gamers and nerds around here too? I don't know. It must be the real estate's too expensive in Washington State or something. Like this, they would have so many sales, and it'd be a success if they opened up in Washington. But you know, it'll happen one day. Maybe I'll be in my 40s by that point. But yeah, Micro Center closed their store in the Bay Area years ago. Ooh, that's okay. Maybe my argument of being in a tech hub doesn't matter. You think the Micro Center in the Bay Area closed because rent there is too expensive? for as big of a property they would need for their store. Just need to ask, what GPU goes best with the Ryzen 7 5800X? Can I put a 4090 in it with no bottleneck? You would, yeah, you would have, I think you would have bottlenecks in a decent amount of games. Are you really, do you have enough to buy a 4090? You have like $1,500 plus to spend, probably closer to $1,700 after tax. If you, here, this is what I say. If you are just looking for the best graphics you can get, run at 4K max graphic settings, you could pair, if you already have a 5800X, you could buy a 4090, and then eventually you'll just upgrade your CPU and motherboard whenever that time comes. Or you could upgrade your CPU and motherboard, but then that takes away, what, like 400, maybe 500, depending on what CPU you get, from the graphics card budget. So then you gotta jump down to like a 4080. And what would give you better gaming performance? A 5800X and a 4090, or let's say a 7800 X3D with the 4080. You're going to be, do you care more about 1% lows, averages? What is the minimum 1%, 0.1% lows that you could deal with? I think the 5800X could do a decent job, but when you're going with the 4090, it seems like strange to skimp out on other parts of the build, you know? Like, you're already spending so much on a premium top-of-the-line part to not want to upgrade other parts of your system that might be holding it back. It seems like a strange decision because it seems like money isn't really an issue, so why not upgrade? Just 4K and good FPS, this is what you do. Also, are you okay with, in potentially like half a year's time, another graphics card coming out dethroning the 4090? Are you going to get buyer's remorse that you pulled the trigger this late into the product cycle and then the next thing comes out that's going to beat it for potentially less money? Like, let's say the next, the 5080 is on the same performance level at $1,000. Are you going to feel bad about it? You know? So, I don't know what you have right now, but hard to give advice on that one, to be honest. I don't know what your financial situation is and what current graphics card you have right now. Fry's got the Micro Center next to S3 HQ off Mission College and at the time on a more volume locally. You have a 5800X and you currently have a 3060. I mean, what's good FPS to you at 4K? What games are you even playing? If you can afford a 2K, our 4090s, I know I looked at it in a somewhat recent video for that scam video, but what are, like, you could buy 4090s for cheaper than 2,000, I think. $4090s, you can get, boom, right here. This is not the best one. It's an Asus Tough one for $1,739. You can get one for $1,700 if you're gonna get the Gigabyte Aero one. Used market's gonna be closer to 15, I think. Oh, and then also if you guys haven't yet,
I get it. Buying computer.
Jason's gonna be streaming next Monday, same time as this stream, I believe, 5 p.m. We're gonna be just chatting it up. It's gonna be not like a podcast, but it's just gonna be a chill chat session with me and him and you guys, whoever shows up, as well as me and him are gonna go head to head against in some game. I think it might be Smash Melee, but we'll see. But yeah, make sure to subscribe and check him out. But yeah, that's gonna be next Monday, and I will still be streaming that following next Wednesday as well. This is just me going to his channel for his stream on Monday. So yeah, I linked his channel in the chat. Be sure to go and show him support. He also does cool PC stuff as well as handheld things. Can you guys hear that Google Home thingy ringing upstairs? Oh, okay. Melissa's up. She's not gonna let the house burn down. Buy it now. Well, I'm just 1080p right now. I get like 400. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Interesting how you. Okay. I wasn't sure what your question was. Yes, a 7800 XT for $500 pairs really well with the 5800X, and you will get a crap ton of FPS in 1080p. I was assuming, because you mentioned 4K earlier, just 4K and good FPS. It depends on what you want. A 7800 XT is going to struggle at 4K, but it comes in at a third of the price at a 4090. So it's really up to you, you know, how much you want to spend. Honestly, I think 4090s are stupidly over expensive for what they are. I don't know. I'm not rich. I can't justify spending that much on a single PC hardware component that will be not outdated, but it will be passed up by stuff that are a fraction of the price in a couple of years, just so I can get slightly nicer graphic settings. I got other bills to pay in my life. I'll come to Jason's stream if he has a cat cam. Or Jason, you need to lock the cats in your room that day and have them crawling all over the place. Pretty crazy to think you could build a pretty nice PC for the price of one 4090. Yeah. Like, let's take a look. The lowest price 4090. Dude, you force them in there and then you close the door. Just make sure you got the kitty litter and food. So that, you know, they could still get their business done. Locked up. Okay. Why is it eBay doing this thing again, showing me friggin' 3070 Ti's when I clearly type in 4090. Let me clearly choose the 4090. Wait up. Why can't I even find 4090s? Are you guys seeing this? 4090. There's no. Where's all the 40 series? What the heck? I have like no filters on right now. I have RTX 4090 in the title. I've got buy it now, shipping lowest price, which is fine. Why is it when power see all? If I take buy it now off, does that give me more options? What the heck? Where's all the 40 series cards on eBay? Yeah, what is going on here? What am I doing wrong? eBay, why you do this to me? RTX 4090 Founders Edition. Is that kind of comes up with something? I don't want a Founders Edition though. I just want any 4090. This is so strange. Okay, buy it now. Is there just none up for buy it now? Wow, this is a shift. I see 14090 here, new listing for bid though. Here's another one, open box for bid from a zero account. Okay, not a scam at all. Are there just no buy it now? Here, shipping highest price first. 3090, 4090 for $118,000. Very cool, very cool. I guess I have to go backwards. Yeah, there are 4090s. Kind of. Okay, apparently the used market for 4090s is looking weird on eBay. Or the listings aren't coming up for whatever reason. I could put a price range, but that's not how I usually like to search. Alright, we're going to put minimum $1,000 because anything that aside from that is fake. And then the maximum $2,000. We should be able to find a bunch of stuff. 3090 Ti, okay. 4080s. Okay, I gotta be more realistic. Gotta put in 1500. Yo, eBay, you are just not doing your thing right now. 4080, 3080 Ti's. What are people? Look at this. People are selling 3090s for 1500. Are they trying to like find people who mistakenly read this as a 4090 and like what are these prices? 4070 Ti for $1,500 from Japan. 3090. I could have sworn I was looking at this like a week or two ago. Did something happen in the market that just... Okay, here's a 4090 for $1,579. This is about more reasonable. So yeah, you're saving $130 compared to buying it brand new. Actually, this is brand new, isn't it? This looks like it might be brand new. No, eBay refurbished. Yeah, so at this point, just buy it brand new. You're not even saving that much money. That's weird. After the first 10 sponsored ones on my search, I see a bunch of 4090s. And maybe it's because I'm in incognito mode or something. Maybe eBay has something where, like, if you're not logged in, because they don't want bots just, like, scanning their posts. I don't know. This is really strange, though. eBay has never done this to me during any of the streams. But, yeah. Anyways, we got off topic there about the 4090s. Yeah. With the 5800X... I think a 7800 XT is a really good graphics card to pair with it, and it is very affordable, and generally well received. No complaints here. Prices are crashing. Wait 90 days? Mike, I swear you said prices were crashing 90 days ago on SSDs and RAM and stuff. I feel like that has not happened. I don't know. I am poor. I don't know what to say about that. I don't want to say me too because I'm not technically poor, but I could be doing better. How about that? Hey, what's up, Tanmay? Nope, I still think that RX 6800 one is the best price to performance GPU on the market right now. Yeah, what are those going for? Those would be around like just north of where'd my window go? North of $300, right? .com. A lot north of 300. 350. What's the cheapest one? You could probably... What would the used market be? I feel like 6800 weren't the most popular in its generation compared to like 6600, 6600 XT, and 6700 XT. So, in terms of, like, the used market pricing, I know in the used market, I can pick up a 6700 XT for, like, $225 relatively easily. So, oh, no, that's parts only. Parts only. Oh, this parts only garbage. 6800s are going for, like, $320. Okay, a Sapphire Pulse one. Yeah, I mean, 6800s, I feel like the entire lineup for its price of the 6000 series... AMD cards were like just great. Like 6600, 6600 XT, 6700 XTs, and then 6800 XTs. All of them, for what they are priced at, perform really well. I would have to go back and look at the data and calculate the FPS per dollar. I don't know if the 6800 is the best one. I feel like 6700 XT, especially if you can get it for like under $250, it's pretty competitive as well, so... But again, I don't think you can go wrong with buying, especially used RX 6000 cards. It's just like such great value. Like let's go look at a 6600. I mean, what were those going for? 125, 150, so about 150. Here's this. Actually, this is a fake one. This has got to be fake, right? 6600 XT. From Finland, But, yeah, they're going for around 150. Used, you might be able to pick them up for even, like... I've seen some in my area for 120. 6600. That is phenomenal value. That all-white build is glowing in the background. Sweet. Yeah, this one is, this is actually a sponsored build with NZXT. So it's checking out NZXT, some of their new stuff, because they released some new stuff this year. And this is actually for a friend. So it's like a friend needed a PC build, and then it worked out that NZXT wanted to sponsor to show off some of their parts and sent them over. So I put it all into one build. But yeah, that's what that thing is. That it's probably another week and a half till that video is out. But that'll be a good one. Get a 7500F from AliExpress and a RX 6800. Yeah, that's the 7500F. That's what's in that build behind me right there. That's a 7500F build. How much did I pay for that? Like 140, 150? I don't remember off the top of my head. I would have to look again, but how much are they going for now? Now they have their back to school sale. So AliExpress, you could get some pretty sweet coupons on AliExpress right now. What is it going for? Let's see. If you spend at least 149, which you get 20 bucks off. So 150 makes it to 130. But I just typed in AliExpress to AliExpress. What am I doing with my life? 7500F. Oh, did I actually buy it for closer to 120? It must have been that then. Yeah. You can get the 7500F for, let me see what the lowest price is. 117, 120. Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of hard if you're trying to go AM5. If you're trying to save money on like a cheaper motherboard, cheaper RAM, DDR4 versus DDR5, and then you stick with like a 5600 or something, which is going for like 70 something, 80 bucks. But if you want the newer stuff with the future proofing, I mean, kind of hard to beat under 120 bucks. They're pretty similar. For gaming, with the graphics cards that you would be pairing with it, I would bet a lot of money that if I had a system, two identically built systems, except one had a 7500F, one had a 7600, and I told someone to play the same game on both of them, they wouldn't be able to tell the difference. There are other things that you could start to see the difference in CPU performance, but most people who are buying these for gaming, if they're not straight up just constantly tracking FPS and just enjoying the game, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. They're still releasing new AM4 chips. I think that's really awesome. If they could still push out more for the people who did invest in the AM4 platform, that's pretty awesome. Alright, we gotta go away from the browser because I'm getting way too distracted. Melissa's upstairs probably waiting, or she already ate without me. But we got like 5 more minutes until I gotta end the stream. So, we have successfully built the system. I will clean up the cable management. I need to benchmark it. I need to wrap up my thoughts on, the whole, like, going cheaper AliExpress route. But for, 500 bucks, this system, I'm pretty happy with how it came out so far. Got to spray paint the graphics card, got to do the cleanup and all that. But that will be in a video at some point, probably in the next couple of weeks, because I am slow as heck when it comes to getting videos out. There is a 7700 with, I'm guessing you meant B650M. That doesn't sound right. Igor, you're making me switch back to the browser. Okay, let me see if I have the whole Chrono Trigger sounds. Here, let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna have to stop the music. I have a folder of Chrono Trigger sound effects. It's not named. It is like... it is all like numbers and letters. Like... That's not the sound. Nope, that's not the sound. Yeah, see, the epoch sound, epoch, whatever, however you say it. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it. I have a whole folder of every Chrono Trigger sound bite though. That's what I use in my videos. Nexus Phantasmo says, just stopping by to show some love. We'll catch the stream tomorrow during work. I don't stream every day of the week, but if you mean you will catch it tomorrow in the VOD after the fact, like the replay, then for sure. Definitely. I appreciate the support and the viewership, but yeah. UFO Bone says, UFO. Okay, I think it's UFO Bone. Just stumbled upon you. Enjoy the nerdiness. Awesome. Did you find me through the vertical, the YouTube vertical streaming stuff on demand? Oh yeah. Okay, gotcha. I've got a. Okay, Jason. Okay. AliExpress has some smoking hot deals on 1TB micro SD cards. Okay, with SD cards, especially for my cameras and stuff, I have, like, I bought a, what brand? I bought some random brand, you know, best price SD card I could when me and Melissa went to Japan. And my camera had trouble with it. After a certain duration of recording, now, I don't know if it was the card itself or like the model, or if it was that one card I got a defect model. But like, I don't know, man. With my camera stuff, like, I don't want to risk losing footage or having something go wrong in the middle of recording. So I just stick to Samsung. I've been using them for years. Like, there are not many things I'm super like brand picky about. But having gone through trouble with SD cards specifically during my YouTube career and not wanting to deal with it again, I just stick to Samsung. Like, I don't know. It, like, statistically, what I'm saying probably doesn't make sense. I'm using like anecdotal evidence of one SD card giving me a bad experience, making me brand loyal. But I already have the Samsung SD card, so it's not like I can go back. And SD cards, especially once you start getting to like 0.5 terabyte size, you don't have to really replace them. And my camera has dual SD, so I won't be losing anything if I do need to replace one card. But it's just SD cards last so long. Like, I might be able to use the same SD cards until the end of time with my YouTube career. Hey Nob, are you based in the Canada or USA? I'm based in the US. I live in Washington State. Washington State, not Washington DC. I'm moving right now. Rip all my cable management. Moving sucks. Also movers, not touching my PC. You have movers? I have never had the like luck of being in a situation where when I had to move, I had movers, like people who move the heavy furniture, who move the boxes that you pack and stuff. That sounds like a dream. Every time I have moved, I have had, like, in the last few times, it was either a moving truck or one time I just moved everything using my Aorus. Movers aren't too expensive for what they provide. That's true. I think the last big move that we had into this house, I was fortunate enough to have enough family and friends that were nearby and able to help move. Plus, we moved from like a small apartment into this house, so it's not like I had all this stuff to move. You know, like we had limited stuff in a smaller space, and then once we got here, I started to go overboard and just like get way too much crap. But yeah. Exploiting free labor? Hey man, I gave them pizza and refreshments. And I have provided PC tech support to multiple of those people for free over the years. So, I'm just saying, you provide, you know, help and you receive help. You provide value, you receive value. Yo, you seeing chat? Yes, Jay Desai, I am seeing chat. It's just that the chat is split. My movers are only $200 to $300 worth it to save the... Yeah, okay, $200 to $300 sounds pretty reasonable. I thought movers were more expensive than that. I was thinking movers are closer to like $1,000, if not more. It depends on how far you move to, I guess. If you go across the country versus like down like the street or to the next town over. But $200 to $300, I'm guessing that's going to be based on square footage or like number of boxes or, you know, how much you could fit. I don't think people will move my current house right now for $200 to $300. It definitely has to scale with the amount that needs to be moved. We paid like $400 last time. Okay, gotcha. And they break stuff sometimes. That would be, especially with my computer stuff. Yeah, I would be like, I'll move that by myself. You guys can move the heavy, furniture, the bed, the mattress. I have a PC with the Ryzen 5 5600 and an RTX 3050. Now I changed my CPU and my GPU and my case. Wait. Nice. What did you change your... Okay, so you changed like the major components and the outside of it. And now you have a white case? Okay, gotcha. I always like to help folks move. It keeps me in shape of it. Moving, especially if it's for like, good friends or good family, like that's bonding time almost. The last time we moved here, my friend Jesse from LAN Party Stories, he was one of the people who also helped move too. And then one of our friends, Charlie, who was in one of the LAN parties, but he doesn't come to LAN parties normal. He stopped by for the one at Jan's house. He was in town and he was like, hey man, do you have time to hang out? I was like, dude, like we have to get out of our apartment by this weekend. Like I can't. So then he offered during his time, like to come help move. And it sounds like I feel really bad that he helped me move for the amount of time he was vacationing here in Washington. But we were all best friends in high school. So just the moving itself was a really good time to like spend time together and like talk and catch up while helping me move, which I'm super grateful for. And I still feel bad that, on his vacation while in state, he helped move, but it just ended up working out that like he said, don't even worry about it, man. Like he had a great time. So, yeah, moving, you could make the best out of it if it's with the right people is all I'm trying to say. We are definitely in overtime right now. I gotta go. It is almost 3 hours of stream. If you get the pack and mover, then it becomes 1K. But if you pack all the stuff and move some of your stuff, it helps. Okay, gotcha. The good thing is, if all goes according to plan, I will never have to move again in my entire life. I do not plan on moving out of this house. We got such a good deal on the house itself. We are at 2.85% interest, which, what is the national average interest rate right now? For a 30-year fixed, it's got to be like 6.5% on hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is crazy. So yeah, our house is great. We have plenty of space. Unless I hit the lotto or something, we're not moving. What if you have crazy neighbors like nudists? I mean, you could have that anywhere. Our neighbors are pretty chill. Our neighbors, I feel bad when we have the LAN party and we have like 13 cars parked outside, taking up the street parking, but it's fine. We have a pretty quiet neighborhood. Me and Melissa might be the youngest homeowners here. I haven't met anyone at like the homeowners association meetup. We do have an HOA. The HOA fees are like $15 a month though. It's pretty cheap. But yeah, I think we're the youngest owners unless people didn't show up, and we're in our mid-30s. So I agree, FHOA, but the reason why we were okay with this HOA is because, I mean, come on, at $15 a month. It's mainly to maintain because we have like a public park area and stuff like that. But they're super chill with regards to, like, I've let my lawn overgrow because my foot was like broken-ish. They didn't give me any notices or anything like that. We've had cars parked outside on the street, not moved for a while. They're very hands-off, and we liked the house enough where we were okay with it. It's not like, my problem with HOA is like when you live in those townhomes or condos, and the HOA fee is like $300 to $400. Like, imagine once you pay off your loan for your townhouse or condo, and you're still paying an HOA fee of $300 to $400. That's like more than utilities. That's like part of rent, you know? For me, HOA rules aren't too bad to follow. It helps keep the value of the houses up and whatever. To me, it's paying the fees for stuff that I may not use, or like for the lawn care or whatever, the maintenance that they have to do. But like it's too expensive. Like I don't want to have to pay hundreds of dollars for the rest of my life for this fee that doesn't go to like the, you know, either equity or like the my property value, etc. I remember back in the day you renting that room, says Cup of Rice. Yeah. Renting the room in the pink house with 5 roommates. My rent back then was $500 in the middle of Seattle. It probably won't be like that nowadays because rent at that house, it was $2,500 of rent at that house for 5 bedrooms. So split across 5 roommates, $500 a piece. Now the house is probably renting for closer to $3,500. That's how much has changed in like the last 8 years. Which still, 3,500 divided by 5 people, 700 a head. That is dirt cheap for living in Seattle in a house where you don't have to share the laundry room with strangers. See you, Robert. Fix it. And yeah, we are overtime, man. We are 2 hours and 50 minutes in stream. Hope you guys had a fun stream. I had a great time. I'm gonna go have dinner. So yeah, these builds that you saw on the stream today, they're not going to be in videos for another about week and a half or 2, just because I still got to benchmark them and get them all set up and then record the video and edit it. So yeah, Monday stream on Jason's channel. He will be streaming. I will be joining him. And then next week stream as always. I don't know what we're going to do for next week's stream. I usually just come up with it off the top of my head. But yeah, hope you guys had a good time. Have a good rest of your night or day, wherever you are in the world. Have a great rest of the week and have a great weekend coming up. And I will see you all next time. Take it easy, y'all. Appreciate you being here.